share your experience. As an artist, I believe that every person's experience is of value. I believe that every person's perspective can help to grow our whole collective human perspective and make the world a more understanding and um, just make people more compassionate and make things more accessible to a wider range of people. We can just go. We go. We go. Here we go. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Be a Boss podcast. My name is Angelique, the artist, also known as Angel. What's up, yo? What's up? So today I want to talk about putting yourself out there. I don't know if you know, but I am an artist. My name is Angelique, the artist, and I do the art things. And something that I really enjoy doing is making art, right? Dope art, right? And putting my info on the back and just leaving it on the street. That's a big part of my business practice. That's a big part of my marketing, I guess. And it's just something that I enjoy doing. It's really like a hobby of mine. Um, and I feel like a lot of people are hesitant about putting themselves out there or doing things like that, giving stuff away for free or um, going to places to network or just meet people or put up flyers or whatever. Um, and I want to talk to the bosses about that because I know, like, for an average individual, putting yourself out there seems like, why would I do that? I ain't got to do that. Why would I do that? But when you're a boss, you got to do what you got to do, okay? When you're a boss and you got things to handle, you got moves to make, that means putting yourself out there. That means shaking hands and kissing babies and passing stuff out. That's what that means. That means being loud and proud about what it is that you do, the value that you add, and the services that you know are going to be great for people and the things that you create that you know people will enjoy. So you got to be bold. You got to put yourself out there. And I really want to dive into this discussion today and say my few words. And I'm also going to ask some Bawse individuals or maybe individual, depending on who's available, what they think about putting themselves out there as far as it pertains to business and any tips, tricks that they might have. Okay, so let's get into something. But first, this is a wonderful, spectacular time for a sponsor, ain't it though? Do you have a business? Do you have a service? Do you have a production coming up that you want the world to know about? I mean, I'm not the world and I don't know the world, but let me tell you, I will help put you out there. I will help to air horn you. Ba, 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 ba. I will put you out there. I will celebrate your service. I will celebrate your production. I will give all of the times and the dates and the pricing and the deals and the contacts and all of that, all the things that you need for people to connect with you. Tell your people to get with my people and we can make some things pop off. I'm just saying, if you want to sponsor the podcast, if you want to help elevate this elevated conversation, if you want to help encourage young women of color and you want to see more spaces that allow these conversations and to hear them in better quality and with better video in actual studio spaces and not dorm room bunks, then go ahead and support the podcast, become a sponsor. We'll shout you out, okay? Okay. So we're talking about putting yourself out there. And this can be in so many different ways that you can put yourself out there. People are shy about so much, that putting yourself out there is like, how would I do that? Oh, is that the ugliest face you've ever seen? Oh, putting myself out there. Why would I do that? But we all have to put ourselves out there for a variety of reasons, not just for business, but for relationships, for partners, for pets, for anything that we need to do that is, outside of ourselves. We need to put ourselves out there. We need to make connections. We need to, like I said, shake hands and kiss babies. I mean, with all the things going on, we don't be just kissing random babies. Okay? But somebody let you kiss a baby. Kiss a baby. I might delete that. So, putting yourself out there. What do I want to say about that? There's just so much that can be said about it. And there are so many different ways to put yourself out there. For some people, starting a podcast seems like a big, major put yourself out there. I don't want to do that. Don't we got that face again. But for me, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've been blocked. I've been blocking myself because all of our experience is based on what we put out and what we produce. But I was blocked in doing it because of my technology situation. But I have been blessed to allowed to be able to create this podcast. And I'm happy to do it because I feel like now I have stuff to put out. Like I have words to say, and I have ideas that I want to share, and I have connections that I want to make, and I have products, and I got services, and I got, just things that I want to put out there, put for people to see and say, do you want this? Do you want this? And I think that that's something that helps a lot with the whole putting yourself out there, the fear of putting yourself out there, procrastination about putting yourself out there. It's just really knowing what you want to put out there, because when it makes it easier to talk about. It makes it makes you more confident in putting it out there and talking about it. Just having, confidence and knowledge go hand in hand, honestly. When you know what you're talking about, and you know what you do, and you know the change, and you know your value, like we talked about last week, it really does help to shift your idea behind being a person who puts your things out there, who puts stuff out there, who's like, yeah, I'm okay talking about this. Because I know right now my friend and I are working on pop-ups, and something that he was expressing was that he tends to be a homebody, and he doesn't really go out much since, for like years and years, just hasn't gone out. And it's mostly because they just like, I was just staying at home and I didn't really feel like I needed to go out and do anything. But now he's selling energy bracelets, and he's getting his coaching, his life coaching, and he wants to be more engaged with people and more like face to face with people. And I mean, honestly, a lot of us haven't been going out, and we're now just kind of, wandering back out into the world after the whole pajama jam, when we I think it was something that we need to relearn, and if you're not comfortable putting yourself out there as far as physically with our current conditions, um, putting yourself out there online, like with this podcast or through social media stories or on Twitter or blog even. I think it's important to share your experience. As an artist, I believe that every person's experience is of value. I believe that every person's perspective can help to grow our whole collective human perspective and make the world a more understanding and just make people more compassionate and make things more accessible to a wider range of people. But people are discouraged from putting themselves out there, which is why in these boss conversations, I really want to ask you, how do you think you became conditioned to be more closed off? How do you believe you came to feel strange about putting yourself out there? Or what do you believe about what happens when you put yourself out there? I know when I was a kid, and I grew up in a very big family, like not like my nuclear family, but like extended family. I have a lot of cousins and a lot of little cousins and aunts and uncles and all of that stuff. But like at family functions and stuff, people are dancing and getting down or whatever. And, it's like attention gets drawn and you're like, yeah, do that, do that. And I just felt like for me, I just didn't want that attention. I didn't want people like, go dance, girl, don't dance. Or like every time there's a party or a certain song plays, it'd be like, oh, do that dance, do that dance. I'm not, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I did become more reclusive, right? I did close down a little bit. But recently I've been, aware that I'm an adult now and that it's okay if I put myself out there and I don't have to feel pressured to perform for anyone or to placate anybody or to bend to peer pressures for doing any certain type of thing. Like if I'm like, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to be concerned about letting anybody down or like people thinking I'm not cool anymore or anything like that. Or any of those things that kind of like pull you away from doing the things that you enjoy, because you don't want to upset other people, right? So, or doing the things that you feel make you more comfortable because you don't want to accept people, in any case. So yeah, what do you think about putting yourself out there? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? What do you think as a boss individual? What do you do to put yourself out there? What do you do to challenge yourself to put yourself out there more? Because to get to a boss status, you had to put yourself out there at some point for people to know you're a boss. Or are like, you even a boss? Like if a tree falls in the wood and nobody else is there to hear it, is it a tree? Did it fall? Did it make a sound? Do the bears care? Were there birds there? I don't know. But I'm assuming that if you are a boss and people are calling you a boss, you consider yourself a boss or a boss in the making. We love entrepreneurials. We love people that are striving. We love people that are thriving. And we're here to connect that. So tell us what your experience has been like putting yourself out there. Now I'm going to ask this question to someone and we're going to see what they have to say about putting yourself out there. Let's go ahead and introduce them. I'm going to just introduce you real fast so people can understand who you are and why I love you and why you're going to be here today on the Be Bawse podcast, because this is Ame. And she's supposed to be on the podcast a few weeks ago.
True. But the scheduling, we can never get it together. We're trying.
We have accomplished, right? We are here today.
We made it.
But let me tell you about who this beautiful, wonderful, joyous lady is. Her name is Ame. She is a Team Super MOOT. Is that the right word? I don't think I'm young enough.
We're gonna say it is.
I don't think I'm young enough to use that word.
We're gonna say it is. Even if it's not, we're gonna say it is.
Right. So we totally just met on Twitter, gushing over Lilly, and she's like, "I'm new, hi." I was like, "Welcome," and she was like, "Yeah, what we're doing? What are we doing?" I'm like, "Let's do a book club," and I was like,
"Let's do it."
She was like, "Yes, okay." I'm like, "I love it." So that's why I love Ame. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but let me just tell you, she is really the realest one. She's the reason that I feel inspired to even offer this podcast in the first place. She has really been sticking me on track, and I adore her.
And she's keeping me just as much on track all the time.
we like you said, like we're together. We're making it work.
True.
Making it work. But yeah, she's also a teacher and an educator, just as a creative, as you can see from her illustrious gallery in the background there, mostly all by her. I think it's all of your art, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just so casual. She's like, yeah, it's all my art. But yeah, so this Ame, she's my pseudo official co-host, and today we're going to be talking about being bold and putting yourself out there. That's what we're talking about. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, tell you about herself and what she thinks about putting yourself out there. Go ahead, Ame.
Okay. Well, like she said, I'm Ame. I'm new to the whole, internet. Let's be real. Internet, because it's not my jam. But as far as we were talking, we always try to talk about being bold and putting yourself out there. We've had several book club meetings about it, and it's always something I've struggled with. I'm always wanting to be the one to play it safe. No, let's not do that. It might turn out this way. It might turn out that way. I try to figure out all the possible endings before I make a decision, and that's not always the way to go. It works sometimes, but then it's like, when you gonna just take a risk? And then when I decided to do this behind me, that's probably the biggest risk I've ever taken. Yeah. Because I don't know how to paint. I can't draw. I can't. I'm not good at it.
She's sitting here pointing at a gallery. I can't paint.
I can't. Legit, I just painted one color and I wrote on the canvas. That is as far as it went.
You did it. I love it.
And I will say I've gotten better though, as far as taking risks and stuff like that, especially when it comes to artwork, because Angel will know, like, I make t-shirts every here and there. I'll just sit there and start painting on a shirt and just make stuff. And it's
dope.
It's great because I have fun with it, especially when it comes to me being a teacher. Like, I get to make all these fun, funky, cool t-shirts and the kids love it. It's a 4-year-old, so they love anything that's like full of color and just bright and bold, and it makes me seem like the fun one.
Yeah. Okay.
That, and plus my hair is a different color every 2 months.
Tell them about it.
Exactly. Like, I just got a nice blue. You can't see because it's dark, but
kind of pick it up a little bit.
It's like light blue, then there's some violet. I don't know what's going on. So many things are happening. But my hair is always a new color because my stylist is a rock star and he just knows what he's doing.
There you go. So it's like, that's something that you do with intention, is like being like colorful. Since you work with children, is like, do you intentionally try to be more colorful or like put yourself out there more so that they feel Like you're there in the room and that you know.
Yeah, it's like I try to. It's mostly because I've always preached this, but I never actually did it for myself. I've
Mm.
always said, live your life like a child. Kids are not afraid of anything. They will take all the risks, be as bold as you want. They will say whatever comes to mind and
Yeah.
just do it. And I'm just like, yo, this is inspiring because I see my kids do it all day. And I'm like, how come I can't do that?
You're like, but I can't.
Exactly. Like we had I think I told you, I showed you the picture. We had the reptile guy come up to the school a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
and I
we
had a sudden impulse of confidence, and I said, let's hold a snake. And I put it around my neck, and I'm just like, okay.
doing it.
I
Those
just did it.
they're heavy too.
It was very heavy. And the sad thing is, I was so scared and excited at the same time.
Mm.
It sensed my energy and started tightening up around me.
Yeah, it's like
It was scary, but it was kind of cool.
Like go to sleep.
Legit, like I thought it was Kaa from Jungle Book. Like I was feeling like Mowgli with the eyes and just like it was a whole thing.
Oh my gosh. But I love that you put yourself out there, and I love that you are doing that actively, because like you said, people say it but they don't really do it, you know.
Yes, and I've been saying it for years and I was never doing it.
So all of this is pretty recent, you putting yourself out there, you would say.
Yeah, for sure. Like it maybe within the past year, and legit, and I tell you, people would swear it's an obsession, but it's a healthy one. It's because of Lilly. Like I
Yes.
watching the things that she does and things that she says and the way she inspires, and it's just I got back in touch with my creative side. Like she inspired this wall because of the one she had back in the day. Like I just thought it was so cool.
Right.
She inspired this wall. Like she inspired me to start doing the shirts. Like I still have my Team Super shirt. I'm working on a new one right now. It's a whole thing. And I'm just like, it feels good to just make things and get in touch with your creativity again, especially when you're working with small kids.
Yeah.
It just feels good.
Yeah. And I feel like that helps you connect to them more, because that's what kids naturally do, is create and destroy things.
Right. Creatively destroy.
Right. And have some creative destruction. That's always necessary in the world, right?
Of course.
And I feel like that's so important that you take the time to tap into that. And you're so right. And that's why I'm grateful for the space to that you've inspired the creation of, to talk about that, because specifically around Lilly being an inspiration for that, because I think that she really is like a groundbreaking individual, right? Like,
oh yeah, for
it's
sure.
not just because she's cute and funny and made some stuff on YouTube. Like, she genuinely sees the world and sees pain points and is actively working to do what she can in her niche with her talents and her weirdness and her clarity. And do what she can to make the world a better place that way. And that's why she took off her Superwoman name, because she at some point was like, that's not who I am. And all of her mental health breaks, where she was like, I can't be trying to be everything to everyone all the time, available 24/7, doing a vlog every day, also putting out content. Like,
there's a lot. And I completely understand, because I'm just like, yo, this woman is doing everything. Like, I know I don't sleep.
Dropping books.
When does she sleep? Like my body, like I told you, my body straight up took 2 naps from me today. Like, how do you do it? Because I didn't even do as much today as she does on a regular day.
Right. And then she's so conscious of how thirsty T Super is. She went ahead and banked like 6 months worth of content.
Right. And the way we are all just like drinking it all up. Legit. Face down in the water.
And this is only the second week. We're going into the second week, and I'm already like, is it Thursday yet? Or
Yo, it's Sunday. I'm just like, we just got this video a couple days ago. Like, when is the next one? Like, hello, my watch is not working.
right? And this is why I was like, I don't like watching TV because I feel like I have to wait until the next episode and the next episode. But Lily,
Exactly.
I'll wait for Lily. It's fine. But it's not
Same. It's
fine.
gonna be hard, but I'll wait.
Right. Like if there was a way I could pay like a quick little $3.99 and just get them all, I would probably do that. Right? Like,
That part. But
right.
the waiting kind of makes it fun because then we get to interact with everybody else online, and it's just like we can all be thirsty together.
Absolutely.
At least we're not thirsty alone.
Like we're all not just sitting there in the desert like
Help.
it's the water. We're like, hey, the water's coming, right? We're like, I think so. Thursday's gotta happen at some point. Well, yeah, I love that. And I love that Team Super is a place where we are like encouraged to be bolder, to put ourselves out there. Like Zoli, I love her. I know she said she doesn't have her TikTok anymore, but she's iconic. She's legendary. Like
she's amazing.
Never gonna forget that. And like Gemma and Nikki and everybody making like the videos and the artwork and the
yes,
t-shirts.
like I love when Jess was doing the little edits that she was doing, where I think she had like the shadow of Lilly somewhere and the little background. It was really cool.
Man, tell me about those fan cams though. Like I don't even know how how do they put those things together?
Right. And then the ones that they do on Instagram, like what's her name? Rachel does the ones on Instagram, and the others I don't know any of their names. I'm just following like 10 billion of them.
Yeah. But they're such a gift to the timeline. Like you're like
legit.
Thank you for feeding me.
Right.
A little bit of rain on my cheek, like
right. Like this is what I needed today.
I'm trying to lick it off my face.
Oh gosh.
I'm so thirsty I am. But in any case, I love being thirsty with Team Super. It's absolutely the best.
It is.
I feel like we've had a solid conversation, and I love that you came today like Reds. Like I feel like you were like, I got this. Even if you didn't like practice for it, you just like have that knowledge in you, and I love it. It's so pure and so delicious.
I think I just love talking to people. Like just having real conversation is what I live for.
Yes, this podcast.
I think that's why I teach.
Yeah. Right, because all of those conversations have to be real. Like you can't just be like, so what's your favorite color? Okay.
Like, yeah.
Just getting your Uncle Bobby on, like, okay.
Okay.
Okay. But I like that.
Oh,
God.
it
was just like Uncle, that whole video was just great. I'm gonna take a minute. Okay, so now that you're in here, Ave, and you're gonna be co-hosting on a regular basis, I'm going to ask you before I make this next decision. Do you feel like it's time that we should just take a moment and appreciate Lilly Singh and
yes,
her acting in this last video? This is just so good.
It was amazing. Like, what?
I mean, and not even her acting, because she wasn't really in it like that. She actually had a bunch of people in it, which was
but I love. Well, I can't think of her name right now. The girl, what's her name? Oh my gosh,
Anjali.
I just remember she was a sing. And her name starts with an A, but I cannot remember her name to save my life.
Anaji, maybe.
Oh my gosh! And the sad thing is, I'm pretty sure I said the name yesterday.
Look, we'll believe it and put it in.
Look, this name right here.
We'll edit that in. But yeah, the
like
little
she
girl
and Chase. I haven't seen his face in a long time.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I just think it was so accurate for myself too, because I was like, Yo, I remember this guy I used to call Uncle Tony, and I don't know if he was. And then my thing is like cousins too. That's where it gets real.
That's where it gets weird because it's like your cousin, this person, that person. I'm like, who?
But like, it's like, who's your mama? Like, who's your daddy? Like, is that my mama's brothers? It's like it's your mama's brothers, sisters-in-laws, kids, nephews.
Like barber. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right. Like I don't know who. I don't know who,
Right.
but they
And
told me that we're cousins. So
we must be.
and
It's crazy on this side. My mom, was it? My great grandmother. It's a lot of us. My great grandmother had 12 kids. It was a lot of us. So it's so many cousins. I'm like, who are you related to?
Right.
Who is your parent? I don't even know who your parent is, let alone who you are.
Look, like my great grandma, I think she had 14 kids, and then my grandmother had 13 kids. So it's just like a whole bunch.
That's double then.
I'm just
my grandmother only had 3.
I don't know who none of y'all.
Who was who?
It was like 4 or 5 of my aunts and uncles had like 6 kids, and I'm like, and then they all had like 5 kids, and I'm like, where y'all coming from?
You're like, who are you? Who are you?
Who are you again? And now the ones that were this big, and now they having kids. I'm just like, I don't know what to call these young people.
Right. And you know what's even worse? Okay, tell me if you relate to this one. I relate to it in the same way, like on the side where I already don't know how you're related to me, first of all. Now, here's on the other side. Why do we all have nicknames for all of our family members, but we don't know any of their actual names? It wasn't until I was a teenager that I learned my mom's brother's real name. I'm like, why have I not known your name all these years? Yeah, and we grew up together. He was only 5, 6 years older than me. We grew up together. How do I not know who you are? I don't know your name.
What's your name? Somebody was just like, this is his name. He was like, this is my name. And you're like, okay.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah, I have an uncle named that they call Uncle Tut, but that's not his name.
Exactly.
And I was like, I think I was like 12 or 13 when I realized that.
Like, that's not your name.
His name is not Tut.
Right. It's not Tut.
It's not a name. I mean, it might be a name.
I have an aunt. Her name is Tut. She's my mother's sister. I was probably about maybe, I want to say, this one was pretty early. I want to say about 8, 9 when I learned her name.
Yeah.
8 or 9 when I learned her name. Then you got people like Cousin T-Man, Uncle.
Right, and Pookie. And
right, Pookie Later. And Bam Bam. Like, what's up? Like, all these names.
Right, like
all these names. Like, can we have some government names around here, please?
We need to see some ID.
it better say Pookie ID. And Bam Bam on an ID.
It better not say that on that ID. It better not say it. But it's right. You never know. People name their kids all types of things. So
true.
And no judgment here. My name is Angelique, and people think that's kind of weird sometimes. Honestly, mostly people have been giving me compliments, but when I was younger, it was definitely not a as well received, I guess you would say. But yeah,
everyone always felt like they didn't know how to say my name. It was, and it's not even hard.
Oh yeah, you do have an actual name.
Oh yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who's gonna walk around not using my name.
That's not her name. That's Auntie Ame. That's
right. Like, my kids.
That's Auntie Ame. And they were like, okay. And then it was like 35, like,
yeah. Like, oh, that's not her name? What do you mean?
Wait, honestly, tell me how to say your name.
It's Alige.
Alige.
Yeah. And everyone always acts like they don't know how to say that because it's really not hard.
It's not.
People act like they don't know how to say it. So people have been trying to call me Allie all my life.
They're like, Alige.
I've gotten Elijah. I've gotten Allergy. I've gotten all kinds of names. I'm just like
Allegra. Somebody's
Allegra, like all kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I know that the Hitch movie, The girl's name was Allegra, so I'm sure you got that.
I've gotten it. I've gotten all the names. I'm just like, it's really not hard.
Alicia.
It's not hard.
It's not. And it's crazy because I felt like it was Alicia, but then a part of me was like, what if it's like
Like, what if it's
something
not?
else? Like I was just like, what if it's something else? Like I can't even think of anything else. But
Right.
I was at the LA art show and there's this artist named Jose. And he said it's not Jose. It's not like like Jose. It's Jose. Like he. So it's a
Got
Jose, like Yose, you know.
got you.
So I was like, Jose,
Like, okay.
whatever you say, Jose.
Whatever you said it is, that's what it is.
Is what it is.
I'm not gonna fight you on it.
Right. But yeah, I think that's the conversation. I just wanted to take a moment to dive into that little delicious video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's hilarious. And I'm sure you will relate. It's hilarious because you're going to relate to it if you are a
For
person
sure.
of color. I mean, I don't know about the Caucasian experience, but every person of color that I have met, whether they're Hispanic or Native or Pacific Islander, or
Indian, who
Indian,
they don't know how they
or
relate to.
they're like, yeah, our family is just like this big jumble of people that I vaguely remember from my childhood, but seem to know everything about me or think they do. But in any case, yeah, so go watch it. It's on YouTube. But thank you for showing up today,
Of
Abby.
course. Happy to be here always.
Do you have any closing words for our beautiful bosses on this Thursday day?
Do what I've been afraid to do. Put yourself out there. Make bold choices. If it seems scary, just do it. You can't see it from here, but one of the little boards says, if you can't beat the fear, do it scared.
There you go.
You can't see it. It's the purple one there, but it says, you can't beat the fear, do it scared.
Yes. And again, that's something that Lilly is also a big cheerleader for.
Yes.
Just
do it.
I can't wait till we start doing Training Super Mood Up. Mood Up.
Oh,
Mood Up. Who am I? Meet up. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
It works.
I've been on the.
We're gonna make it a word, okay?
It's a thing. Team Super Mood Up. Meet up out in Atlanta, in LA. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll figure that out.
I gotta make sure I get you out here for the art scene though.
Oh, but before we close up for real this time. The Bawse Book Club. I would really like to do that in person, things allowed. I'm not sure how things are working. So August 14th, it's a Saturday. I will be at the Los Angeles Central Library for our allotted time, which is 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
So that's 9 o'clock. I think that's right when the library opens. We might have to shift it to like 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
No problem.
Let you know, keep you updated. Excuse me. But I would really like to see some of your beautiful faces in person. Please wear a mask. The library does require them. It's going to be in the cafe in the back or in the front, depending on where you come through. I'll be posting about it soon. We'll get some of that together. Otherwise, you can just join us on a Zoom link. We also do the Zoom things and we chat. It is not recorded. We just keep our conversation amongst each other so we can have that conversation about exploring our bosshood. Yes. So also we're going to be changing things up. I want to go by the sections of the book so we can take bigger bites. And you know, other people are releasing books and stuff all the time. And I would like to grow our libraries collectively, right? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the new money, right? So, and old money. Honestly, knowledge is the oldest money. You know, we're being real. In any case.
Let's be real.
In any case. But yeah, so That's all I got today. Thank you again. I mean, we will get this thing rolling smoother.
We will.
But everybody have a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, magical day. Um, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah. I love amazing conversations. I love connecting with people. It's just one of the best things of being a human in this experience. And I also love supporting, uplifting, and elevating people who have exceptional services, businesses, products, productions, anything that they want to be promoted and put out there. Yes, if you would like to be a sponsor, burr, 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 burr. If you would like to be a sponsor, hit me up at bosslife926@gmail.com. We are here for you to we are here for you to be connected to people that you may not be able to reach. Let me be your mouthpiece. Let me tell the world about what you do, about the value that you add, about the change that you're making, about the stories that you're telling. Y'all might have heard Lilly Singh has been posting on Thursdays, just the same as this podcast gets posted. So if you are not watching these videos, what do you know? She's so funny. She's so funny. She's so funny. You have to go watch it. So go check out Lily's channel. If you want to sponsor, email me again, bosslife926. Other than that, have a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, magical day because you deserve it, because you're worthy. Don't let anybody tell you different, okay? Okay. I'll see you next week. Be a boss, y'all.